So, it's me, your boy, Samson. So, you need to wait to the end of this video, particularly because a lot of us have people who have different types of spirit, and that is why I'm here. Be careful when you are working with someone or when you have a friends, relative, cousins who bear or who have the spirit of Saul, spirit of jealousy, spirit of Saul. Be careful because they will try to dim what your soul says. So the issue is this: we need to be careful, and you need to be careful too. Whenever you are working with someone, or either a master, either a mistress, who have the spirit of Saul, but because they won't like you and they won't be happy to see you grow more than them. They won't be happy to see you getting what blessing more than them. They will never be happy whenever they come to realize that you are working under them and you are still progressing more than them. They will never be happy to see a new thing around you, because spirit of Saul are spirit of jealousy, envy, jealous, pride, and rude. So be careful when you are working with people or when you have friends who have the spirit of jealousy, because your friends can like you but they won't be happy to see you do more better than them. This is the spirit of Saul. They will always do what? They will always congratulate you when they know that you are doing what you are doing bad, but they will never appreciate you when you are winning. They will always be there, promise you all manners of words when they know that there is a war to fight. People who bear the spirit of Saul will always be available when you are about to be blessed. They will always be available when you are being promoted. They will always be there in order for them to stop you when you are getting to the top, but they will vanish whenever there is a battle to fight. Whenever they know that you are struggling, they won't come near you. Whenever they know that you need them, they won't be available. Whenever they know that there's something that you need from them, or there's a battle that is about to occur. It may be the battle of finance. Maybe you need them to help you in one point or another. They will just disappear, but they will always be there when they know that there is something that they need from you in order for you to do or to help them. Once they discover that there's something that is going rough around them, there's something that is not going well around them, that is when they will pick up their phone and call you in order for you to solve the problem. But they won't be there for you when you are suffering. Be careful of this kind of people, because they can go to any level just to dim your light. So the world we are living, people are so desperate. That's why you need to understand the type of people whom you mingle with and the kind of spirit that they bear. We have people who bear the spirit of Jezebel. We have people who bear the spirit of Joseph, the spirit of Anna, the spirit of Esther. We have people who still bear the spirit of Judas Iscariot. So be careful of those whom you mingle with. Be careful of people whom you call your friends, people whom you call your relative, because if they have this spirit of Judas, they will always be there to dim your light. They will always be available to destroy your success. That's why you need to distance from them. That's why the moment you realize that they are not with you, you distance. I'm not saying you should hate them, but give a distance from them, because they know the truth is that they can't stop you, but they can do something. They can only delay, they can only cause confusion, but the truth is that they can't destroy you. They know it. So brothers and sisters, nobody on earth who like or love to be delayed. So that is why you need to distance yourself from them, because spirit of Saul is a spirit of wickedness. Yes, they can have the gift. Listen, this is why you need to understand, even in the church today, We still have people who have the spirit of Saul. That was last 2 years. There was a church that I visited, a Catholic church. So all those Catholic church, they do used to, mostly when they are talking about the birth of Christ, they will on light everywhere. So everybody were visiting the place to snap picture, to do all those stuff. So a reverend father was also there. While all the whole members are there. Many of them are taking pictures, doing all sorts of things. So I went close to the altar to go and take picture, to go and watch all those statues they placed there, to just have a little picture. Getting to that place, the man of God that was there was looking me so badly. The moment I decide to bring out my phone was in my hand. The moment I do it, he know that I'm about to take a picture. He just switch off the light. I was so shocked. Not that it is time to do or to go. Not that many people were there, taking pictures. He just switch off the phone and he start to look me. That's why I tell you, there are many people in the church today who still have the spirit of Saul. That was year 2019. So there was, in Catholic and in Anglican, they have people who they call catechists. If the Reverend Father is not there, people who take care of them. Little by little, I'll be giving you all my stories. So when I was frustrated, something happened. Then I was with this woman and with this man. So I do used to, sometimes he will carry me to his house, eat with them, do stuff. So he got to a point where he narrated to me, when I visited his house, like this door, like this, the back of the door, like this back, not this side, this back, he just had the image of what Papa Francesco, like this, they draw Papa Francesco. Instead of him to hang Papa Francesco for up like this in the wall, he just hang it on in the wall, back of the door, so that nobody will see it. You know what I'm saying? So it come to a point. I said, why do you place Papa Francesco back of your door? He said, no, his children were there. He didn't explain it. So after that, when we were just going by, he was carrying me back. The next day, I visited the place. Then I asked him, why do you place Papa Francesco in the back of your door, not in your front? He said, the reason why I am doing that work, the reason why I am doing that work particularly is because of money. Not because I love him, not because I love God, not because I care. It's because of the money that I'm getting from the church. So my brothers and sisters, believe me, the world we are living today, there are many was Saul in the church. There are many Judas in the church. There are many Jezebels in the church, but praying with you at the same time. That's why you need to be careful with people whom you call whatever your pastor or this. Because many people bear the spirit of Saul. When I was in children camp, there was a man of God who wanted me to be a reverend father. That is why my daddy used to say, wisdom is principle, is one of the principal things on earth. So it got to a point where many people were so there. We are up to 1,500 people in that conference. So I do used to go to church. Normally the way I do used to go when I was in Nigeria, every day. Once I come back from school, around 6 o'clock, I will bath, go back to church. You help them do what all these helping Reverend Fathers. I can't forget because I'm not a Catholic person, but I will record the name. So I do it 8 months. So it comes to a point where this man, he didn't ask me the question what on behalf of other people, because if you are a man of God, you're supposed to call someone and said, I see your addiction. Do you love to do what we are doing? Do you love to be a reverend father, or you want to be like others, or you want to be a pastor, or all those stuff? So he just called me in public where there are many people. And before he said this, he promised me in front of many of his friends, many of his colleagues, even the caretaker of the place where I do used to live. He told them that he have become my dad. He is my dad, not knowing that he is trying to convince me to say a word publicly to people that I love to be a reverend father. So it come to a point where after he have ministered, do all sorts of things, he just called me from the altar where I was sitting there with many children who do used to carry what all this bread that they do used to share in the Catholic, which they call the bread of Christ, God. I'm sure you understand. So it got to a point where he called me publicly because I don't know how to speak their language. Then there was a lady who was there who know how to interpret. So the lady just come and be interpreting. He said, "Do you love to be a reverend father?" I was shocked. I was so shocked of myself. The moment he said this, the woman used English to me. Said, "Samson, do not look at the crowd. Just say what is in your mind." And she herself was shocked because they know that she know how to speak what? She know how to speak English. So the only word I said is this: if it is God's will, not my will. And the man was shocked. Someone who said is what is going to be my father. And when I involved in problem, I called them. He don't respond to me because all his thought is that he's going to convince me to be a reverend father. That is why you need to understand. Even when I visited him, he know my situation, but he don't care. So what am I trying to tell you is this: we have a lot of people who are called Saul around us, who can just force you to do what you are not ready to do if you are not careful, who can also deceive you, deprive you, take charges, take control of your life, who will never be happy to see you do well, more better than them, who will realize that you are going to be great, but they will try all means to keep you in one place. We have a lot of them. It can be your brothers, as I'm saying. It can be your relative. Be careful of people with this type of gift because they can go to any level to keep you in one place, to keep you in one particular spot, to make sure the more you try to go, the more they will seduce you, the more they will break you. When Saul was afraid of Goliath, he didn't even think of whether David would die in the war or not. All his thought is that whoever that will kill David will be favored. But the moment he realized not only being favored, the Israel is talking about, the Israel are talking about that they are now promoting David more than him. That is when the spirit of jealousy that was hidden in him arose. People can have the gift of God, but they'll still have the spirit of jealousy that have not yet exposed. The moment they realize that you are doing something greater than their own, or you have anointing, that is why the word today we have a lot of pastors, apostles, reverends, deacon. We have a lot of them fighting each other because many people who you call pastors, many of them, the spirit of jealousy in them have not yet exposed to the world. So my brothers and sisters, be careful of this kind of people whom you call your friends. If you are a pastor, be careful of your pastors, people who go around with you, because many of them, the moment you start to grow in grace more than them, that is when you will realize that many of them have the spirit of jealousy that was hidden in their vein, that will soon germinate and spread out. So be careful, brothers, because many people whom you think that they are up there, that they care about you, many of them have the spirit of jealousy, and they will never be happy to see people celebrate you. They will never be happy when they see others celebrating you, not them. Be careful. This is all I have for you. If you have not subscribed, kindly subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Kindly subscribe and thumbs up the bell. May the Lord bless you.